You're waiting. Maybe you don't admit it, but you are. Waiting for things to get better on their own. Waiting for someone to show up with the solution. Waiting for the universe to conspire in your favor. Waiting for a guru, a therapist, a mentor, a book, a video, anything external to come and save you. And while you wait, your life passes. Days become weeks, weeks become years, and you stay in the same place, blaming circumstances, blaming other people, blaming the economy, the system, your childhood, your genetics, blaming everything and everyone except the only person who actually has the power to change your situation. You. Here's the truth no one wants to tell you because it doesn't sell courses, doesn't fill auditoriums, doesn't create followers. No one is coming to save you. No one ever came. No one ever will. And the faster you accept this, the faster your life changes. Modern society has created an epidemic of men waiting for external salvation. Waiting for the right woman to show up and complete you. The perfect job to fall into your lap. Someone to recognize your value and promote you. A mentor to appear and guide you. A magical opportunity to come out of nowhere. The government to fix your problems. Therapy to cure your weakness. A coach to turn you into an alpha. And while you wait, you outsource your power. You put your life in the hands of external forces. You become a victim, not of circumstances, but of your own refusal to assume total responsibility. The most brutally honest philosophers in history, Nietzsche, Sartre, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Camus, arrived at the same conclusion by different paths. Salvation, if it exists, can only come from within. And most men would rather die waiting than live saving themselves. This video will not comfort you. It will not give you 5 easy steps. It will not sell you cheap hope. It will give you truth, brutal, uncomfortable, but liberating truth. You will understand why the victim mentality is the greatest prison there is. How existentialist philosophers proved you are condemned to be free. Why waiting for external salvation is abandoning your own humanity. The 5 signs you are still waiting to be rescued. How taking total responsibility transforms everything instantly. The Stoic method to become unbreakable. Why solitude is power, not a curse. And at the end, you will have a clear choice. Keep waiting and wither away, or stand up and build. Warning, if you want comfort, close this video now, because what comes next has no mercy.
Deconstructing the victim mentality. Truth 1. You are condemned to be free. Jean-Paul Sartre, existentialist philosopher, said something most people completely misunderstand. He said, man is condemned to be free. Condemned because he did not create himself. Yet, in other respects, he is free because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. You hear condemned to be free and think, great, freedom. But Sartre is saying the opposite. He is saying you are stuck with freedom. You cannot escape it. Even when you try to run from responsibility, you are choosing to run. There is no not choosing. Why is this brutal? Because it means every excuse you have ever used is a lie. I had no choice. Lie. You chose. It doesn't depend on me. Lie. Your response does. I am a victim of circumstances. Lie. You create your response to circumstances. Sartre called this bad faith, when you pretend you don't have freedom in order to avoid responsibility. It is the most comfortable lie there is, and the most destructive. Viktor Frankl was in Auschwitz, a Nazi concentration camp, literally the place with the least freedom on earth. He lost everything: family, profession, dignity. Even his name became a number tattooed on his arm. And he realized something extraordinary. They could take everything from him except one thing: the freedom to choose his attitude. Frankl wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms to choose one's attitude in any set of circumstances." If he in Auschwitz still had this freedom, what excuse do you have? Your boss is difficult? Frankl had Nazi guards. Your financial situation is bad? Frankl had nothing. You feel stuck? Frankl was literally imprisoned. And even so, he chose his response. He chose to keep his dignity. He chose to find meaning. He chose not to be a victim. You're in a bad situation? You probably are. Most people are. But here is the question that separates men from boys. Will you keep whining about what you cannot control, or will you act on what you can control? You don't control the economy, but you control whether you build a valuable skill. You don't control the job market, but you control whether you wake up early and work. You don't control the past, but you control whether you learn from it or let it define you. Freedom is not the absence of obstacles. Freedom is choosing your response to obstacles. And when you stop waiting for someone to remove the obstacles and start using them as a forge, you become unbreakable. The arsenal. Practical application. Tactic 1. The total responsibility exercise. Grab pen and paper. Write down all the excuses you use. I can't because. It's not my fault because. If only person or circumstance were different. Now, for each excuse, complete the sentence. But I can still. Example. I don't have money to start a business. But I can still learn skills for free online and build something with zero capital. No one gave me opportunities, but I can still create my own opportunities through hard work and networking. You are training your mind to focus on what you can do, not on what you can't. The world owes you nothing. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome and Stoic philosopher, woke up every morning reminding himself. Meditations 2.1. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself today you will meet meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly people. Why did he do this? To prepare himself, to avoid the illusion that the world owed him justice, gratitude, or special treatment. Most men live with an unconscious belief: if I'm a good person, the world will be good to me. Childish lie. The world is not fair, never was, never will be. Good people suffer. Bad people thrive. Effort does not guarantee results. Character does not guarantee recognition. And when you live expecting the universe to recognize your value or that the truth always wins, you're setting yourself up for disappointment and resentment. Nietzsche saw this and called it ressentiment. When weak men blame the world for not rewarding them, he despised it, because it means you are still waiting for external validation. Epictetus was born a slave. He was tortured. His leg was permanently broken. He had no rights, no freedom, no guaranteed future. Did the world owe him something? Of course it did. No one deserves to be born a slave. But he didn't waste time on that. He didn't spend years waiting for someone to free him or for cosmic justice to correct his situation. He focused on the only domain he had, his mind. He developed Stoic philosophy, trained his mind to be free even while his body was chained. And when he was finally freed, he became one of the greatest teachers in history. Why? Because he didn't waste years waiting for the world to give back what was taken from him. He built with what he had. You think you deserve more? You probably do. Most people deserve more than they have. So what? The universe is not calculating merit and distributing rewards. There is no cosmic HR department reviewing your performance and promoting you. You want more? Take more. Build more. Create more. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for recognition. Stop waiting for someone to see your value and give you what you deserve. Strong men don't ask for permission. They act and let the world react. The arsenal, practical application. Tactic 2. Cancel the cosmic debt. Write down everything you think you deserve but don't have. Promotion, relationship, recognition, opportunity. Now cross everything out, literally, with a pen, and next to it, write, "The world doesn't owe me this. I will take it through action." You just canceled the imaginary debt. Now you're free to act without resentment, without waiting, without expecting anyone to hand you anything. Saviors don't exist. Only sellers do. The modern self-help, coaching, therapy, spirituality industry is built on a fundamental lie. You need external help to save yourself. You don't. Think about the logic. If you could really be saved by a course, a book, a guru, then why do people consume hundreds of courses and stay in the same place? Why do clients keep coming back to coaches instead of being fixed? Why do you need constant updates if the solution was supposedly found? Because the industry doesn't want you saved. It wants you consuming salvation. Nietzsche saw this coming. He said in Thus Spoke Zarathustra, "You had not yet sought yourselves when you found me. Thus do all believers. Now I bid you lose me and find yourselves." Translation: stop following me. Stop following anyone. Find yourself. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, had teachers. He learned from spiritual masters. He practiced extreme asceticism. He followed every path someone else could teach, and nothing worked. Then he did something radical. He sat alone under a tree and decided not to get up until he found the answer. And when enlightenment came, what was the first thing he taught? Be a lamp unto yourself. Not follow me and I will save you, but you have to find it yourself. I can point the way, but you must walk it. How many courses have you bought and never finished? How many self-help books have you read without changing anything? How many hours of podcasts have you consumed waiting for someone to give you the secret? Here is the secret. There is no secret. There is only wake up early, work hard, be brutally consistent, don't quit. Repeat for years. That's it. Gurus sell comfort. They sell the illusion of a shortcut, a hack, a magic formula. There is none. The arsenal. Practical application. Tactic 3. The passive consumption diet. For 30 days, you're going to do this. 0 motivational videos, self-help podcasts, mindset posts, new courses. Only Daily action toward your main goal, real work, tangible building. At the end of 30 days, compare. Did you move more by consuming content or by acting? The answer will shock you.
Solitude is power, not a curse. Nietzsche observed that weak men are afraid of being alone, because alone they have no one to blame, no one to validate them, no one to save them. Strong men seek solitude, because they know it is in solitude that you build yourself. Nietzsche. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Now I bid you lose me and find yourselves, and only when you have all denied me will I return to you. Why is solitude power? Because it is where you stop performing. You stop seeking validation. You stop adjusting your behavior to please others. In solitude, you cannot lie to yourself. There is no audience, no excuses, just you and your raw reality. And you either collapse or become indestructible. Fyodor Dostoevsky was sentenced to death. He was literally taken to the firing squad. At the last second, his sentence was commuted to 4 years of hard labor in Siberia. He spent years in brutal isolation. No books, no paper, nothing. Just his mind. Later, he said those years of forced solitude were the most formative of his life, because they stripped away all external distractions. All that remained was him and his thoughts. When he was released, he wrote Crime and Punishment, The Brothers Karamazov, some of the greatest works in world literature. Why? Because solitude didn't destroy him, it forged him. Are you afraid of being alone? Afraid to go out alone, eat alone, travel alone, spend a weekend alone? That fear is a sign of dependence. You depend on others to validate your existence. Strong men don't need an audience. They do what must be done, with or without witnesses. The Arsenal. Practical application. Tactic 4. The Solitude Retreat. Once a month, do this. 24 hours completely alone. No phone or only for emergencies. Social media, conversations, passive entertainment. Only you, your thoughts, and one project: writing, creating, planning. At first, it will be uncomfortable. Then, it will be liberating. Because you will realize you don't need anyone to be complete.
Accept that you are alone. Not romantically, factually. You were born alone. You will die alone. And everything in between you face alone. Other people can walk alongside you, but they cannot live for you. They cannot suffer for you. They cannot grow for you. Camus said, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." He discovered that alone. No one could discover it for him. Practical application. Stop looking for solutions out there. Everything you need is already inside you. You don't need permission, validation, approval, company. You need decision, action, consistency, time. Take responsibility for everything. Even the things that are not your fault are your responsibility to respond to. You didn't choose to be born poor? Doesn't matter. It's your responsibility to get out of poverty. You didn't choose your genetics? Doesn't matter. It's your responsibility to maximize what you have. You didn't choose your past? Doesn't matter. It's your responsibility to create your future. Practical application. Tactic 5. The Total Responsibility Contract. Write and sign. I, your name, accept total responsibility for my life. Everything that happens to me, good or bad, is the result of my past choices or my response to circumstances. I blame no one. I expect no salvation. I will build my life with my own hands. Date, signature. Put this where you can see it every day. It's your reminder you are the only one responsible. Build alone, even if slowly. You don't need a big start. You need a consistent start. Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Stop planning. Stop researching. Stop waiting. Start. Practical application. Tactic 6, the 1% daily rule. Every day, for 30 days, identify one action that moves you 1% toward your main goal. Do that action before anything else, social media, Netflix, etc. Mark it on a calendar. Seems small? 1% a day equals 37 times bigger in a year. That's exponential math. Stop chasing comfort. Comfort is poison. It kills ambition. It kills discipline. It kills growth. Nietzsche said, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." Translation: you grow through discomfort, not despite it. Practical application. Tactic 7. Comfort fasting. Once a week, strip away all unnecessary comfort. Sleep on the floor, cold shower, food fasting, no entertainment, no complaining. You are training your mind. I don't need comfort to function. I can function under any condition. Die before you die. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. Not for morbidity, for urgency. Marcus Aurelius. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Practical application. Tactic 8. The imminent death exercise. Every Sunday, visualize you have 6 months to live, no more. Now ask yourself, what would I stop doing immediately? What would I start doing immediately? Who would I spend time with? What would I build? Write down the answers and live according to them. Because you don't know if you have 6 months. You don't know if you have 6 days. The final truth. Here's what you need to understand. No one is coming to save you. Not a magic mentor. Not the perfect woman. Not the ideal job. Not God, the universe, or fate. Only you. And you have 2 options. Option 1. Keep waiting. Keep consuming motivational content. Keep blaming circumstances. Keep waiting for someone to see your value and give you what you deserve. And die waiting, full of resentment and wasted potential. Option 2. Accept that you are alone. Take total responsibility. Stop consuming and start building. Embrace discomfort. Work in solitude. Build slowly but consistently. And become the man you need to be, with or without help, with or without recognition, with or without an audience. Sartre was right. You are condemned to be free. You cannot escape responsibility. Even when you don't act, you are choosing not to act. So choose consciously. Stand up, not because someone asked you to, not because someone motivated you, but because you are the only one who can. No one is coming to save you. And that is the best news you will ever receive, because it means You have always had the power. You were just waiting for permission to use it. Permission granted. Now act.